G'day taxpayers. A little bit of a think about the rising wealth effect and its impact on household consumption and its impact on employment. And this is in the context of the housing affordability issue and some of the claims and wishes of folk to get house prices lower, which obviously would improve affordability in one sense, but it would come at a probably fairly significant cost to consumer spending and jobs. Now, Reserve Bank and others have done a myriad of research on the link between wealth and spending. Pretty simple, according to the RBA anyway, a 10% lift in wealth adds about 0.7 percentage points to household consumption expenditure, which obviously leads to stronger employment gains. So to think that we could see a drop of household wealth of, say, 20% from house prices weakening structurally or significantly from a shock, then of course the implications for the economy would be quite acute, that you'd obviously get people hunkering down because that wealth effect's quite significant. If you're feeling wealthy because your assets have gone up, you might be more inclined to reduce your savings elsewhere. I'm feeling confident about my financial future. Banks would be willing to lend you more money against that appreciating asset, and you'd be probably more willing to borrow that money and do something with it, spend it, in other words. It has implications for the banks themselves because they obviously would get smashed through a negative wealth effect and negative equity if we were to see house prices weaken sharply. So the wealth effect is actually pretty powerful and something that we can't ignore when we discuss this issue of affordability. So the bottom line of all of this is that there is some benefit from high house prices for jobs. And just by the way, if we did see house prices, say, drop 20%, consumer spending weaken, the banks tighten up on their credit and lose value, sort of compounding the wealth effect, by the way, we would probably get an increase of roughly half a percentage point in the unemployment rate, another 100,000 or so people on the ranks of the unemployed. And of course for them, while house prices might be cheaper, it's pretty hard to get a loan if you don't have a job or if you're in very insecure employment. So not advocating always that house prices go up, even though they probably will in any long run structural sense. Of course, they always go up in a long run structural sense. But be careful if we were to see a fall in house prices, because the consequences would feed back into weaker consumer spending and higher unemployment. Be careful what you wish for.